The Blue State Chair resides in a building called the State Apartments in the Ballroom. The Birthday Ball at Government House 1880 sketch. The ballroom is serviced by a supper room that runs its entire length and has its original serving bench and fittings. The Minstrel's Gallery, where musicians perform at functions, features a semicircular sound shell that reflects the arches and scalloped sconces above the dais. Musical motifs of Pan and his pipes in the upper corners, and an intricately gilded iron balustrade. There is an oral tradition that when the plans for the ballroom were presented to Queen Victoria for approval, she objected to the size, as it was bigger than the ballroom at Buckingham Palace, and asked that the building be reduced. However, by the time her request reached Victoria, construction had already begun. State Chair. The focal point of the ballroom is the State Chair, only ever used by the monarch or the monarch's representative. This chair was made around 1859 and has been used by all the state's governors since Henry Berkeley. The arched back rail features a crown and has Advanced Victoria carved underneath. It features lions' heads carved on the arms, the cross of St George, England and Wales, and the cross of St Andrew, Scotland, on the legs, and the floral emblem of Ireland, the shamrock, on the skirt of the seat. The Kingdom of Australia's King Stephen's claim is that there's an Australian kingdom left behind by our ANZACs waiting to be claimed. This is a half-truth, but we guess he, the self-proclaimed king, would love to call the state apartments home, and who wouldn't? It would be much better than sleeping in one's motor vehicle or under a bridge. When in truth, there is a great empire, a kingdom of Great Britain, defended, torn apart, and almost forgotten that our ANZACs died to defend. This kingdom, this empire, this commonwealth is sitting there waiting to be reclaimed from the occupying administrators of Rome that stole it right under our nose under those rules of usufruct and many other acts of trespass against us. So many of such, there's just too many to list in one article. However, we have addressed many on our website already. One can easily see the Imperial State Christian Protestant crown on top, and on the throne, the Blue State Chair itself, with the Roman St Edward's crown in the middle. Now, why do you think that is front and centre? Is it a statement being made? The Kingdom of Great Britain was under threat many times in history. However, it was really torn up with the Treaty of Versailles and the creation of the League of Nations, which became the United Nations, by none other than the sly politicians we voted in to serve us, and then furthermore with the collapse of the Imperial Crown Empire, brought about by many acts of Parliament's trespass, seeking independence from the motherland to create their new world order of Rome. It was the treasonous politicians who did this to us, the people, all in the name of power and authority of Rome. Could Queen Elizabeth II be a captured queen? Could her father be also a captured king? Could this be why Queen Lizzie, in her address to the Commonwealth, stated she cannot send us to war or make rules and only give us her love? One must read between the lines in this broadcast. In the first few years of her reign, Queen Elizabeth II was under immense pressure by unseen forces at play, including our very own politicians of the entire Commonwealth, as well as the Roman Catholic Church and the British Parliament also. Could have the politicians tied her hands, and did we all unknowingly let it happen? Many do claim Queen Elizabeth II was in on the whole thing. Well, maybe so. It's also no secret Queen Elizabeth II never really wanted the job, so self-sacrifice could very well have been her plan all along, and going by her actions, it looks that way also. However, providing proof of this is like trying to find a unicorn. Remember the old saying, innocent until proven guilty? We doubt we really know for sure, as such evidence would be covered by now. Or would it? Could that evidence be right in front of us? However, the fact that Queen Elizabeth II placed the Roman St Edward's crown on her head, among other things, is indeed interesting to say the least, especially with what the Act of Settlement and the history between Rome and England has to say. It was her father who brought back the St Edward's crown tradition, after all. King George V. What if Queen Elizabeth II and her father were both under duress, acting against his and her will? Would they leave any clues, like signing documents in unusual places and such?